My name is Ben Urich. I'm a journalist. It is my job to collect facts and find the truth. It is my responsibility to share the truth with the public. Journalistic behavior is embedded in my brain and displayed through my actions. I am driven by both instinct and duty to recall these particular facts on recording, and although it is my job to recall facts, that description doesn't do this story justice. No, I am recounting adventures that form the truth about a man unlike any I've ever known. My recordings share the truth of the Blue Phantom. Our story begins at Sharon Harris Nuclear Power Plant.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you could make it from the boardroom to our research department for today's demonstration. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Frank Einstein. Today we will show you the progress we have made in our research of geo-subatomic hydrothermal technology and the potential it has for the future. Let us begin. As we bring the device online, notice that we have the equipment to measure the output of energy. The initiation sequence began only moments ago, and yet already the device is almost ready to begin energy production, something that will take a normal reactor hours, even days to do. Look at it. The fusion of energy is marvel to behold by the human eye. Now turn your attention to the monitors. The output level is at 3 times the capability of our current facility. The only shortcoming at this time is that we have not yet been able to reach complete stasis. So at this time, we must power down. But that was just a preview of what is to come. Through the continued funding of this department, we shall achieve the ultimate breakthrough.
Your results are impressive, Dr. Einstein. Unfortunately, we are in the middle of a difficult time in the nuclear industry. There's a lot of uneasiness and concern for safety following the Fukushima Daiichi disaster in Japan. And frankly, there is a lot of talk in the scientific community about how unstable and dangerous geo-subatomic hydrothermal technology can be. I'm sorry, but we have decided to temporarily suspend the program until advances in safety technology can catch up to that type of science.
You're shutting me down? Fools! I'm on the brink of making history. You're missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I assure you will all regret this.
Dr. Einstein, control yourself, or we will have you removed from the premises. We have a project in the works for new safety technology. Dr. Sherman is heading the research, but these things take time. It's important for us to make safe standards a priority. Right now, we are focused on our image.
Come in.
Are you busy, Dr. Sherman?
Clark Parker. Smartest security guard I've ever met, and the only one around here with any interest in science.
Well, Dr. Sherman, you know how fascinated I am with the research that goes on here. I hope to be a nuclear engineer someday, but while I'm saving my money to go to school, I have to settle for a security guard job here at the plant. I'm hoping maybe I could at least learn a little bit while I save up for tuition.
That's what I like about you, Clark. You have 2 things a man should possess, a positive attitude and a plan.
What are you working on over here?
That's a special safety suit. I designed it myself. It's a prototype, really. Bulletproof vests essentially absorb bullets. Wetsuits absorb water. They prevent these things from getting through. This suit absorbs energy, thereby preventing energy from getting through, theoretically.
Wow, like a radiation suit on steroids.
That's a colorful description, but it's also an appropriate one. We haven't tested it yet. I'm not sure that it's ready, but I'm patient. I know these things take time.
Well, I'd love to see you test it when it's ready.
Sure, I'll be happy to have you sharing the excitement.
That would be great. Well, it's almost time for my shift to start. I'll see you later.
Okay, Clark.
Later that night, all the workers of the plant have gone home. Clark is making his rounds when he runs into Dr. Sherman.
Working late, Dr. Sherman?
You caught me, Clark. I'm usually not here so late, but I think the suit is just about ready for testing. We should know for sure by the end of the week.
Suddenly, there are loud noises.
What's that sound?
Sounds like it's coming from Dr. Einstein's lab.
But he shouldn't be here. There was an incident earlier today. His security clearance was turned in this afternoon.
Clark and Dr. Sherman race to the lab to discover Dr. Einstein. The device is powered on.
Frank, what are you doing? You don't have authorization for this.
Authorization? Genius needs no authorization. I will not ask for permission to be brilliant.
Clark draws his gun, but Dr. Sherman steps in front of him.
No, wait, this is crazy. No one has to get hurt.
At that same instant, Dr. Einstein lunges towards them, shoving Dr. Sherman into Clark and knocking them both over. When Clark tries to get up, Einstein wrestles him for the weapon. As the two struggle, a gunshot pierces the air. Clark lands a solid right cross, knocking Einstein to his back. Clark is still holding the gun, but he finds his victory to be short-lived.
Dr. Sherman, are you hurt? Oh no, you've been shot. Hang on, I'll get you out of here.
Clark, listen to me. The machine, you have to shut it down. If it reaches critical level, it will cause a surge that will stretch for miles. Exposure to that kind of energy is very harmful. It could be fatal.
But how? I don't know what to do.
The suit, it can withstand the energy exposure. If you put it on, you can stop this. You must hurry.
Clark races to Dr. Sherman's lab. He scans the room until he spots the blue full-body suit. He wastes no time putting it on and runs back to stop the device.
Okay, Dr. Sherman. What now?
You must enter the reactor and shatter the core. That should diffuse the energy overload.
As Clark approaches the reactor, he is momentarily captivated by the bright, neon blue pulses of energy coursing throughout the core. He grasps for it, and the energy begins to visibly surge all over the suit. He struggles through the surge of energy until he is triumphantly able to lift it. Clark pauses for a moment as the suit continues to be consumed in bright light. It is difficult to think clearly amidst the sheer force of power he is exposed to. He is unsure of how to dispose of the energy source, but then it hits him. He moves as quickly as he can to another part of the facility. He arrives at his destination, the power plant's trash compactor. Clark tosses the core into the compactor, and the machine begins to close in on it. What he doesn't realize is that Dr. Einstein has followed him.
Well, it seems Dr. Sherman's suit is a success. Speaking of Dr. Sherman, you have a choice to make. I have set fire to my lab. Dr. Sherman is there. You can save him if you go now. Or you can try and stop me from retrieving the core. The decision is yours.
Clark hesitates for a moment before running off to save Dr. Sherman. Dr. Einstein attempts to remove the core from the compactor, but he is too late. He cries out in defeat.
No! I'm so close!
And with a sound like slowly crushing glass, the machine begins to apply pressure. There are crackles and pops of energy. The core resists its destruction, and with a final act of retaliation, an explosion signifies the end of its existence. In the force of the explosion, Dr. Einstein is badly injured. Clark returns to the lab and finds Dr. Sherman barely conscious.
It's going to be okay, Dr. Sherman.
Clark turns to find the exit blocked by flames.
I have to find a way out of here. But there are no other doors and no windows. These walls seem so thick.
He picks up a metal pipe and strikes the wall repeatedly, but it's no use. Dropping the pipe, Clark begins to pound with his fist in desperation, when suddenly something strange happens.
My hands, they're glowing, just like when I touched the core.
Once again, energy courses through his hands, but this time it is different somehow. He feels almost as if he is charging up. Perhaps it is out of instinct. Perhaps it is because he has run out of ideas. Regardless, Clark raises back his fist, and with all his might, he delivers another blow to the wall. This time it crumbles, as if it were struck by a wrecking ball. Clark lifts Dr. Sherman and carries him outside to safety.
Clark!
Take it easy, Dr. Sherman. Try to conserve your strength.
Clark! I saw what happened. It was amazing. The suit, and those kinds of side effects. There's so much potential. I didn't know. I never realized.
What was that? I don't even understand what happened.
Do you remember how I said the suit absorbs energy? It should have diluted and dissipated, but for some reason, The geo-subatomic hydrothermal energy is actually stored in the suit. Somehow it manifested when you punched the wall.
But how?
I'm not exactly sure. You have to promise me something. My work has always been done with the goal of finding ways to make the world a better place. Promise me, you make sure this discovery is put to something good.
But Dr. Sherman, I really don't know what to do. Maybe there's someone else I can give the suit to.
Clark, please.
Okay, Dr. Sherman. I promise.
I'm glad it's you. You're the right man. It's no accident. You were here.
Dr. Sherman? Dr. Sherman! Stay with me. Please. Dr. Sherman? You're going to be all right. You have to be all right. I need your help. I don't know what to do.
And at that exact same moment,
Where am I? What happened? I don't know what happened. Wait, I remember a name, Dr. Sherman. Why do I remember that name? Sherman. That's it. I can't remember everything, but somehow I know he is responsible for this. He did this to me. I will find Dr. Sherman, and then I shall have my revenge.
next week on The Blue Phantom, what are the extent of Clark's newfound powers? How will he keep his promise to Dr. Sherman's dying wish? What terrifying changes does Frank Einstein begin to experience? Will the brilliant madman exact his revenge? And who is Ben Urich? For the answers to these questions and more, don't miss the next thrilling episode of The Blue Phantom.